Dear grade 9 students, today's lesson we're going to complete the properties. Last time we studied about the properties of acid, and this time we're going to study about the properties of bases. As we defined acid, we said that acids can be defined or have been defined by many scientists. We said that acids are compounds that release hydrogen when it reacts with water. And there was another definition that acids are considered proton donors. For bases, the definition of bases actually bases or alkalis are chemical substances that forms OH, which is hydroxide group. This one we have studied when we're studying the how to write the chemical formula. This is an hydroxyl group, OH minus 1. So bases or alkalis are compounds that form OH or hydroxyl group in water. This is one definition. Another definition, it accepts ions to make water. So like acids, bases also have two definitions. This is one of them, and this is the second one. So first, bases are compounds that form OH minus or hydroxyl group when they react in water. And this is the other one. So bases, we can say that they are proton acceptors. Proton acceptors means they accept the hydrogen proton to form water. So when there is a hydrogen proton plus the hydroxyl group, actually it forms H2O. So have you noticed something? Before we said that also water can partially dissociate into hydrogen and OH. So this means, or in another way, we said that water can react with acid. Let's refer to the acid HA, okay, any strong acid. And this gives H3O, which is the hydronium plus A minus. Okay, so in this case, actually, the water accepted the proton, so in this case, it's base, right? So this is the water reacting as base because here it's a proton acceptor. Okay, now let's check when a base strong as sodium hydroxide react with water. This what happens. We said that it produces what? It releases OH, right? So there is an OH hydroxyl group and there is an Na positive, right? And actually there is hydrogen too. Okay, so in this case, actually, if we just remove that, wait. So now we know that base also have two definitions like acids. One, it produces or forms OH hydroxyl group when it reacts with water. Two, it can be considered as a proton acceptor and forming because it reacts with the hydrogen proton and form water. Now let's move to the properties of bases. Remember when we talked about acid, we said they have a sour taste. Now for bases, they have a bitter taste. You know what's the meaning of bitter taste? Means it's not that sweet. So here are some examples of bases that we use in our daily life. Baking soda is a base. Windex, you know, that one that we use, that solution we use to clean the glasses, actually that's a base. Most of the disinfectant and the things that you use in cleaning your house, the detergents that we use in the house, actually are made of bases. The drain cleaner, this one is also made of base. Second thing, when we talked about acid, we said that we have to be careful when you're using chemical substances in general, especially acids and base, because they are acids. They are corrosive, means they can burn your skin, or also they can eat metal. They're cord metal, means they eat the metal. Base is actually not corrosive. When actually they are corrosive, but not like acids. But actually, yes, they can burn your skin too. Another thing about bases, so we can stretch that. Not corrosive if it's not strong base, but it can burn your skin, and also you have to be careful using bases. In general, yeah, chemical substances. Bases can also react with indicator. Remember? We said that an indicator is a chemical substance, or there are many indicators can be used. Here we're using litmus paper just to distinguish or differentiate between the acids and base. So litmus paper is a two-colored paper. There is blue litmus and there is red litmus. In bases, if you're using the red litmus here, if you add it to base, actually it turns blue. So if you're using the blue one, there is no change. One property of bases, yes, base can also burn your skin. It has, and it can burn your skin, and sometimes it can cause an itch. And there is something very famously used in-house for cleaning the bathrooms. It's called flash detergent. Actually, this is a very strong base, and it's irritating, and it can irritate your skin, means make you itch, and it can cause a few burns. One thing about bases, distinctive about bases, actually it feels slippery, like the feeling of you're using the dishwashing soap. Yeah, it feels slippery, and you will be amazed, bases actually used, you know what, in soaps. Actually, soaps are made using bases. The washing dish liquid is basically base. Here are some examples of bases. Bleach, the bleaching you use in your house, ammonia, borax, eggs have bases, salt, water, it's base. Some medicines like milk of magnesia. Milk of magnesia, actually, it's used to treat the heartburn. When you eat that spicy food, you feel that burn in your chest. Okay, this is how they use it. This is why they use it, the milk of magnesia, just to reduce that burning feeling. And also it's used in soaps. Okay, remember when we talked about acid, we said that acids can be classified into strong and weak. Now, it's the same thing. Bases also can be classified into strong bases and weak bases. Okay, strong bases means they completely ionize in water. Completely ionize means this is the same equation I wrote before, and here you have H2O. Remember this reaction we have studied in the first semester. Okay, so again, so bases or strong bases, they completely break up or completely ionize in water, means break up into positive and negative. Okay, now you tell me, does that makes it a good conductor of electricity? Yes, it does. Since you have protons and you have electrons, so this solution actually is a good conductor of electricity. There are charged ions. So again, bases, strong bases, let's just say that it's strong base. Strong bases completely break up in water into positive and negative ions. Aqueous means in water. You asked that question many times. Okay, and one more thing. So we have strong base which completely ionize in water. This makes it good conductor of electricity, because there is free charge, because there are ions. But what about weak bases? Actually, weak bases, they can also react with water, but they partially ionize. Partially ionize means they break up in water, but not all of the molecules break up. One famous example, uh, bases like organic bases. Actually, organic bases, they partially ionize in water. So do you think weak bases are good conductors? No, they are not good conductors because they do not completely break up in water. See? So strength completely dissociate in OH ions when you have strong bases. Okay, this is your homework for today. You have different substances and you have to fit them into acid or base. Just put them into acid or base category. You have tomatoes, nitric acid, magnesium oxide, oranges, hydrochloric acid, car battery, sodium hydroxide, antacid, bleach, ammonia, Italian salad dressing. This was our lesson for today and hope to see you soon.